Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories throughout the Carolinas. Today is December the 1st, 2020, and thank God this year is almost over. I can't wait for 2021 to get here, and I can only hope it will signal better times, happier times when we can move around and spend time with our friends and our loved ones. All of my vacation plans were canceled this year, and to be honest, the cruise ships and the airlines are still owing me a lot of money because none of them seem willing to provide me with a refund. But anyway, still hoping for a much better 2021. Our story today comes from Raleigh, North Carolina. Take a look at the headline. And it reads, Church members protest lack of support for sexual assault victims. I'll provide you with a summary here, and I'll place links to a few of the full articles in the description box. Well, a few weeks ago, there was an arrest reported in the local newspaper, and it had to do with this man. His name is Richard Andrew Kelton. He's a 37-year-old father of three and a resident of Apex. Well, last month, he was charged with sexual assaults of three young girls. Two of these assaults were reported to have occurred repeatedly over an 8-year period, and the third had to do with a more recent sexual assault that was alleged to have occurred sometime this year prior to his arrest in October. I did not get around to sharing the story, but a community protest took place this past weekend, and it brought this case back into the spotlight, and that's why I selected it for today. Now, according to the Apex police, they were reaching out to the public to see whether or not there were additional victims out there and encouraging them to come forward. And according to one source, this individual worked for the YMCA years ago during the period of the alleged sexual assault of the first two girls, and he currently was a volunteer at a well-known church called Hope Community Church of Raleigh. But it is mentioned that his crimes did not appear to have anything to do with his current volunteer work, where he was still having contact with children. But last month, after his arrest, he was able to post a $150,000 bond, and right now he's not permitted to have any contact with children at all. But that leads us into this past weekend and the protest, and that's what I want to share with you right now. Well, the local news media broke the story last Sunday, and I do believe it was WRAL, and they indicated that members of the church were protesting what they described as an atmosphere of silence within the church, and that the church showed a lack of support for sexual support survivors, and they had a pattern, and they, meaning the church, had a pattern of covering up alleged instances of sexual abuse. The news media did interview one of the protesters, and she made it abundantly clear that they wanted to make sure that this incident or this problem got media attention. Now, as I already mentioned, this individual is a volunteer at this local church where the protest was taking place, and that's the Hope Community Church of Raleigh. So the church, I'm sure they were none too pleased by all this distraction and all this attention. So they went ahead and issued a public statement saying that none of the activities this individual is accused of occurred at any of their churches because they have a few campuses, and that they had already taken measures to restrict his volunteering activities. The official statement also said that the church had policy in place that prevented volunteers from being alone in a room with children when they're and that they had cameras in place to monitor real-time activities. They also stressed that Kelton, which is the person in question, had completed their screening process before he was allowed to become a volunteer. And then I came across a Facebook page where someone else had seen the demonstrators out there and wasn't sure what it was all about, and just made a statement asking, what's going on over at their church. And then people started to respond. And let me kind of summarize some of the things that was posted. So according to what was posted, they wanted to bring awareness to matters taking place at the church, and more specifically, they wanted to address behaviors by church leadership that were essentially trying to silence members from speaking out about sexual abuse by other church members. They indicated that a few of the women had been sexually assaulted by persons working for the church as either volunteers or contractors. Many of these women had reported the sexual assaults to those in authority at the church, but the leadership blamed the victim and refused to investigate the cases. They said one example of blaming the victim was when the church told one victim they forgave her for being sexually assaulted, making it seem as if it was her fault. They also stated that the church tried to send a cease and desist letter to one of the victims and threatened legal action against the family to keep them from speaking out. It also mentioned that the church denied sending the letters, but they were convinced that the church had done it. And there was quite a few other allegations being made, but I'll leave that for another day. So there's a lot of messy stuff going on over there at that Hope Community Church of Raleigh. And I bet you this is not the end of it, because as more information comes out in the public, the church is going to feel obligated to respond again, and who knows where it's going to go. But I'm going to stay on top of this one, and I'll bring information to you as it becomes available. And that's all I have for you right now. Please feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about the story. And feel free to like and to share this video. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And if you click on this notification bell right here, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.